What's good, YouTube? This your boy Money Mitch TV coming to you straight off the hip. I was just reading some articles about some NBA rumors. Two of them I was reading on. One with Demarcus Cousins has been offered a 5-year, $219 million from the Sacramento Kings, and there's potentially that where he might sign that deal. And also Derrick Rose is back with the team, and he been going through a whole bunch of personal problems, and he also even thought about walking away from the game, but at the same time he is seeking for a 5-year $150 million deal when free agency hits this summer. I'm gonna start off with Demarcus Cousins, first things first. Demarcus Cousins, he's gonna most likely sign that deal because if he leaves Sacramento, he will leave $80 million on the table, and that's gonna really somewhat make you think that, hey, if I'm gonna leave $80 million on the table, it better be for a championship ring. But overall, Demarcus Cousins is going to sign back with the Kings with that $219 million contract. And the reason why, because the NBA is oversaturated with a lot of money now, which is good and is a bad thing. It's good because you can put better teams together, and it's bad because you're going to have those few players that say they're quote unquote competitive and they're the epitome of loyalty will stick with one team and not win a championship ring. I feel like this modern NBA is solely based on championship rings, thanks to Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan has set the standard almost 20 years ago about championship rings. So Demarcus Cousins signing that deal is going to pretty much hurt him in the long run. Right now he's about 25 years old. By the time he gets out of this deal, he'll be 30 years old, and pretty so he might have time to go to another team. He's going to pretty much do the Kevin Garnett route, where he's going to stay with one team for more than 10 years and then pretty much trying to go to another team and take less money to win a championship. And that's what Kevin Garnett did with the Timberwolves. He stayed with the Timberwolves for more than 10 years, and then he realized that it was time for him to go and win a championship ring. And pretty much Kevin Garnett has sealed his career in 2008 by winning that one championship ring with the Boston Celtics. So even though if Kevin Garnett didn't win a ring, he was still going to be a NBA Hall of Famer. But now he's a first ballot Hall of Famer since he won that championship ring. And Demarcus Cousins, he has the ability to win multiple rings. He's a once of a generational player. He is the best big man of the league next to Anthony Davis, and I think Demarcus Cousins is going to sign that deal. Once he signs that deal, it's going to show that he don't care about winning. It's all about the money. And but I'm not gonna front with you. If I was in his position, yes, I would take the money too, and then try to get out of that contract afterwards, after the 5 years, and then go to a team and win in the latter days of my career. And also, I know he's gonna sign it, so it's no brainer if you're gonna make an extra $80 million or maybe an extra $100 million coming up season. Also, with other news, Derrick Rose been having a whole bunch of personal issues with his family and a whole bunch of other stuff, and he's have thought about leaving basketball, but at the same time Derrick Rose is asking for $150 million. And here's my take on Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is one of my favorite point guards besides Russell Westbrook, John Wall, Chris Paul, and Damian Lillard. He's one of my favorite point guards. The thing I hate about Derrick Rose that he is very emotional, and he's a very unstable person when it comes to his emotions. The thing I hate about Derrick Rose, he gets very emotional, he cries a lot, or he, it's kind of like he do a whole lot of that. He lets things affect him very quickly, and then once things affect him, he pretty much get very emotional, and it distracts him. And I understand that Derrick Rose had a family issue. We all have family issues. But I think there's something going on behind the scenes with Derrick Rose where he's emotionally detached from basketball. And you can tell just by the way he is playing, although he's having a okay year, but not a all-star year. Derrick Rose, I feel like the best thing for him is to leave the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks is not going to give him that $150 million contract. Derrick Rose just need to start over again. There's a couple options for Derrick Rose. Number one option, I think he should go back to Chicago. If he does go back to Chicago, he will have to take a pay cut. But at the same time, he has he has said that he thought about coming back to Chicago, but it's kind of messed up how Chicago screwed him over. But I see why Derrick Rose want to come back to Chicago. He wants to be close to his family. But if Chicago traded him, they pretty much will not take him back, only if he asks for less money. I think one team will be good for Derrick Rose. I will say the Milwaukee Bucks. He will be a good starting point guard for them. It's a young team. He will have some type of veteran leadership, and by him being under Jason Kidd, he'll be a better point guard. And I think Jason Kidd is going to teach him how to play better defense and move the ball. And that will be a great fit for Derrick Rose as a starting point guard. And that's the thing that the Milwaukee Bucks are lacking, is a point guard. Although Giannis Antetokounmpo is running the point, playing the 2 guard, the 3-man, the 4, and maybe sometimes the center. I know he's playing all 5 positions, but after a while, you will have to look at it and say Giannis needs someone to give him the ball than him always taking the ball and running the offense. So the Milwaukee Bucks will be one choice. I'll give you another good choice, the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks, this is pretty much their last year of trying to retool their roster to make another playoff run. I think if you give Derrick Rose a short-term contract, it could work out. Imagine Derrick Rose, Harrison Barnes, Dirk Nowitzki. That'll be an okay big 3. It'll be a more stable big 3 than New York, with him, Carmelo Anthony, Joakim Noah, and whoever's on that Knicks rosters. So the Dallas Mavericks will be good. Or I'll give you another one. You can bring Derrick Rose to Atlanta. Atlanta has Dennis Schroeder, but I think Dennis Schroeder, he's okay. He's not that good, but he's all right. But if you bring Derrick Rose to Atlanta and let him play at the starting point guard position, and just let Dennis Schroeder either play the 2 guard or come off the bench, that would be good. Derrick Rose and Dwight Howard. But overall, Derrick Rose has a lot of options this summer coming up. He said he wants $150 million. I don't think he's worth $150 million. I think Derrick Rose is maybe worth 70. I will give him 70 million. And I think for his skill and talent, where he's at now, talent wise, where he have taken a step back, but consistently he can still put up 16 to 18 points a night. So I feel like if the right team talk Derrick Rose into a smaller contract, I could see Derrick Rose taking a 4-year $80 million deal or a 3-year $65 million deal, which that still will be some good money for Derrick Rose. So yeah, it's because as long, I think if Derrick Rose is making about over $20 million a season, he'll be all right. So that's one thing I can say about Derrick Rose. The right team has to get him, and then once the right team gets him, he will pretty much will have success again. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Tell me what you think. Tell me if Demarcus Cousins is worth the $200 million, or if Derrick Rose is worth the $200 million. Tell me what you think. This your boy Money Mitch TV, and I'm out.